Carlos Tavares, he's the man. He's bringing news here, news that we're hearing for the first time. Let's start the interview off with the news that you're announcing a new EV investment.
Carlos Tavares, the CEO, recently stated something unexpected. While businesses like Tesla and Bide are prospering, traditional manufacturers are finding it difficult to turn a profit on EVs. You may be surprised by the ominous cause of this. To make matters worse, the CEO of Stellantis has been making some unsettling comments about EVs. He even said that the cost of EVs would increase by 50 soon. Yet why? Are Chinese EV manufacturers destroying all other businesses? The CEO of Stellantis asserts that EV production cannot be profitable, but given that their vehicles are priced in the premium class, how are Tesla or Bide doing this? While all of the established automakers are experiencing weak sales, low-cost Chinese automakers are winning the EV pricing battle. Is Stellantis time on the clock now? Will Stellantis have to shut its doors due to the emergence of new EV titans? We're going to learn everything in only 10 exciting minutes. We swear to respect your time. What really occurred then? The CEO of Jeep's parent firm Stellantis, Carlos Tavares, seems to be singing a different song than the rest of the automotive industry, which seems to be completely engulfed in the electric car maelstrom. His point:
well, indeed, that's the news for today, is that we are in our transformation journey for the EV offensive. We start this year in the US with the ProMaster EV proposal, and from there we are going to ramp up very strong this year, 24-25.
We may not even have the required raw materials on our cherished Earth to keep the EV party going, according to Tavares, who spilled the beans at Stellantis' inaugural annual Freedom of Mobility Symposium. Even if we are aware of the necessity for lithium, why do we not have as much as is required? A villain named resource scarcity may be ready to bring end to the EV fantasy. However, there's still more. According to the CEO of Stellantis, replacing all of the gas guzzlers on our roadways with electric vehicles requires more than simply producing more automobiles. It has to do with getting a massive quantity of lithium. Rivian's RJ Scarange and Elon Musk of Tesla have both expressed alarm about the upcoming shortage of not just lithium, but also other elements like nickel, graphite, and cobalt. Although the globe may theoretically have adequate resources, getting access to them involves a number of regulatory and logistical challenges. Stellantis' total margin was close to 11 in 2021. But how will they be able to turn a profit if their output increases by 50? It has been determined to impose electrification on the automobile sector, which will cost it 50 more than a traditional car. Thus, we must absorb 50 more in expenses. We are unable to pass on 50 of the increased expenses to the customer. According to recent sources, they won't be able to make a profit this year, even if they raise the sticker price on each of their automobiles by 20. Will they begin to sell EVs at a loss, as GM and Volkswagen did? Jeep halts its aspirations for electrified vehicles. This is why Jeep sales during the first quarter of 2023 decreased by almost a record 20. Sales of Ram trucks are down 17, and there have been many large-scale recalls. Recently, the Jeep Wrangler was recalled owing to fire concerns. And just before that, the Grand Cherokee was recalled in both 2022 and 2021. In other words, they are mucking up present manufacturing in an effort to switch to EVs. Although demand for SUVs is high, sales are not. Carlos has led dealers to charge large markups of hundreds of dollars on their automobiles just because of the high dealer pricing markups. In essence, he wants to make Jeep seem like a high-end automaker. But what's wrong with the reliable, sturdy image that Jeep projects? For instance, a Jeep Wrangler would have cost you between $35,000 and $38,000 in 2015. However, that identical manual transmission automobile now costs a staggering $52,000 in 2023. And keep in mind, Even they have versions that cost much over $100,000. What were they thinking, really? Nevertheless, Jeep is continuing with its EV aspirations. But there's a problem. They are putting as much delay as they can on it.
By the end of 23, we'll be at 32 models. By the end of next year, we'll be at 47 EV models around the world, and the offensive in the US starts now.
Jeep, a renowned off-road company with roots in World War II, hasn't been sleeping through the electric revolution. The firm has made it obvious that it is committed to electrification by making the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee available as Forks-A plug-in hybrids. According to Christian Monet, the CEO of the Jeep brand, Jeep wants to be the top zero-emission SUV brand globally. That's really amazing. No, Jeep has teased the market with prototypes like the Wrangler Magneto 3.0 concept, which boasts a stunning 650 horsepower and 900 pound-feet of torque. But the release of the completely electric Wrangler has been delayed until an astounding 2027. Jeep's electric Wrangler prototype had even shown what was feasible. So why hold off until 2027? Although the Wrangler EV is formally planned, other vehicles like the Recon and the luxurious Wagoners are expected to debut in North America earlier, even as anticipation for the electric Wrangler grows. It seems that Jeep has given the Avenger Recon and Wagoner EVs priority. Jeep has a strategy.
We are racers at Stellantis. We love competition. The fact that we know what our competitors are doing to a certain extent can be for us not only a motivation, but also an information intelligence. Now we know what we need to do better.
Even if the situation doesn't seem promising right now, sources indicate that Jeep won't give up. They will address each issue one at a time, beginning with the outrageous dealer markups. To let their consumers benefit from decreased MSRPs, they will convert to a new store model. They want to pass on to suppliers the increased cost of electrification. Nearly 85% of a car's value, according to CEO Carlos Tavares, comes from extraneous parts. Their CEO also said last week that a closed mill would reopen, aiding in American output. The last thing this business wants to do right now is raise pricing over the next 5 years. This will mostly be a race to reduce costs in order to maintain affordability and the size of the markets, said Carlos, in order to maintain middle-class support for new vehicle sales. The basic Avenger crossover has already been released in Europe, and the tough Recon EV is scheduled to arrive in the US early next year. A complete display of even the opulent Wagoneer is planned for later this year. Even though the Wrangler's electric variant has been announced, it seems that its release has been planned to come just after these cars. Additionally, CEO Munich teased that the electric Wrangler will outperform its current ICE equivalent in terms of off-roading capability. Companies like Tesla and BYD benefit from being early adopters.
By the way, Stellantis technology is racing for the lead in Europe, and our products are now on the podium in terms of sales with our electric technology that is going to be available for all of our regions, including the US.
While American and European businesses are having difficulty making ends meet, they have their manufacturing plans in China, which dramatically lowers the price of their automobiles. Legacy automakers are attempting to lower manufacturing costs against all obstacles. And maybe, as time goes on, people will start to value actual quality more than the cheap vehicles being marketed as the future and innovation. Are you opposed to electric vehicles? Or do you want a world devoid of ICE engines? Tell us in the comments section below. Please remember to like it and subscribe to our channel while you're there to see more of this kind of material. We recently finished a super fantastic film about a future flying electric vehicle. Therefore, keep an eye on our channel for that.